Hi there, I'm Matt Inglot, founder of Tilted Pixel. I'm here today to talk to you about landing pages. Landing pages are a very powerful technique to convert a lot more visitors into customers, and as long as your website has some sort of editing capability, you should be able to use these in your marketing as well. Our customers in particular have access to some great landing page creation tools, but really, as long as you're able to edit your website and add pages, you are going to be able to take advantage of this technique. So before we get into that, just as an aside, I want to point out that this is the second of hopefully a long series of online marketing tutorials that we'll be producing. So definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on these. And I'm particularly excited to be recording this episode because I finally fixed a really annoying audio problem, so I can now record these episodes on the computer that I want to record them on. And if you're suffering from problems with low microphone audio or lots of noise in your recording, keep an eye out because I will produce a short video showing you how to fix that as well in the future. So moving forward. So let's define a landing page. A landing page is simply the first page that your visitor sees when they get to your website. So the most common example is your home page, because that's where most links and most people's advertising tend to point to, but it could actually be any page on your website, and in a second we'll find out why it's a good idea to have a lot more landing pages than your home page. But first, let's take a look at the problematic way. And let's use a fictional business called Anne's Cupcakes that we'll be using as an example for the rest of the video. So Anne has a cupcake bakery and delivery business, and she has a ton of advertising that she does. She has a marketing email list, and she has flyers that she sends out. Currently, all of her marketing simply points towards annscupcakes.com. Now, what is wrong with this message? Well, let's consider Anne's homepage. So this is, again, a hypothetical business. I mocked it up very quickly using a mock-up tool. This is not actually a graphic design by any means. However, it does give you a pretty good idea of sort of a very typical e-commerce site. So you can see Anne is advertising that she creates all natural cupcakes. That's her niche. And she ships them right to your door. So you see she does a few things. She has a call to action to get you to browse cupcakes right away. There's 60 flavors to choose from. She's pointing out that she has free shipping across Canada and USA, and she's also got kind of a cupcake of a month to highlight specific flavors. So it's a lot that's going on here. And remember that all of her advertising is currently pointing towards this page. So for example, let's pretend that she is running an ad for gluten-free cupcakes, and someone sees this advertisement on a website, gluten-free cupcakes, delicious cupcakes. Hey, if you're looking for gluten-free, that sounds like a good idea. So they click the ad and they go to annscupcakes.com, and this is what they see. Now the problem here is you don't even see the word gluten-free anywhere, and that's because Anne doesn't exclusively sell gluten-free cupcakes. In fact, only 5 of her 60 flavors are gluten-free, and it's a very niche product for her. So she can't highlight everything on her homepage, so she doesn't include gluten-free at all. Now, if I click this ad and I receive this homepage and I'm looking for gluten-free cupcakes, now I'm lost. Now I don't understand. Are these cupcakes not gluten-free after all? Or maybe I'm going to misinterpret it as all cupcakes are gluten-free. Either way, the homepage is not very targeted to me, and chances are I'm not going to end up buying Anne's product. So let's consider an alternate scenario. Once again, Anne has the exact same advertisement as before, but this time when you click it, instead of going to the homepage, it's going to annscupcakes.com/gluten-free special. And now, this is a page that Anne has created specifically to sell her gluten-free cupcakes and nothing else. So this allows her to focus all of her messaging specifically on people looking for gluten-free cupcakes. So you'll see now gluten-free is listed all over this page. It starts with a nice headline talking about how they're gluten-free, all-natural cupcakes. And Right after that, it's actually got a little bit of story of how Anne created these gluten-free cupcakes as a result of her own child not being able to eat gluten, which is actually probably the exact target market that she's targeting, which is mothers with children who have some form of gluten allergy. On top of that, let's pretend that she went on some sort of cooking show and actually had her gluten-free cupcake showcased. Now she can embed that video directly onto that landing page, which is actually probably going to be really powerful for selling these cupcakes, because if you can watch a little segment with a TV show host oohing and awing over these cupcakes, that's really going to help you move product. And then the other cool thing Anne has done here is she's actually embedded her order form directly into this landing page now, because she already knows what you're trying to order is the gluten-free cupcakes. You don't really need a shopping cart or anything of that sort. She probably should have a flavor selector and maybe quantity on there, but otherwise it's a pretty straightforward order form and she can take the visitors straight to checkout. So with landing pages, we can be a lot more strategic with our marketing. Instead of having absolutely everything linked to our homepage, now we can actually create separate pages where it makes sense to and link some of our advertising to those pages instead. And all a landing page is really is a page on your website. So you should be able to create a new page, and if you can do that, congrats, you can create a landing page. Some tools, of course, are better than others. Again, our own content editing system does have a few bells and whistles that make this process especially nice for our customers. But if you can create a page on your website, you can create a landing page. So now let's talk a little bit about why landing pages are so effective. So first off, as we just talked about, they are a lot more targeted. We can speak to the exact offer that we are promoting and to nothing else. Secondly, we can focus on devoting that entire page to getting the visitor to accomplish just the one thing we want them to do, whether that's to buy our product, subscribe to a newsletter, try a free trial. That's all we are focused on. Whereas the homepage usually has to target several different types of customers, not to mention people that might be applying for a job, media that might be interested in writing about your business. So it becomes a lot more diffused messaging versus a landing page. And finally, landing pages also allow you to experiment and optimize. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, but basically you can create different versions of your landing page and test them to see which one works better. So let's talk about some tips for higher performing landing pages. By higher performing, I mean they get more visitors to do that thing that you want them to do. So first off, a landing page always needs to have a call to action. So call to action is the action that you want your visitor to do. And this thing better be big, it better be clear. So here are some examples from our website contact page. We want you to start your website design project with us. So we have a nice big button for that. We've got some arrows pointing to it. We want it to stand out. On some of our other pages, like our blog, what we're actually trying to do is we're trying to get people to subscribe to our newsletter. So that's what we have very prominently placed everywhere on the blog. Some other types of calls to action might be to start a free trial for your product. Maybe it's the type of product that people don't buy right away. They have to try it first. In that case, you don't focus on order buttons. You focus on getting the person to start that trial. And later, the trial portion is the part that should be focused on getting the visitor to actually buy the product. Or you might simply be wanting people to follow you on social media. And there's lots more call to action examples, but these are just a few. So the other thing you want to do is you want to eliminate distractions. A distraction on your landing page is anything that's going to cause the visitor to do something that's not your desired target action. So if you want people, for example, to order your product, your landing page should not have 3 different email newsletter signups and social media buttons and white paper downloads and whatever else you might have decided to pack on there, because if a visitor goes to one of those things and gets distracted and doesn't place the order, yeah, okay, you've got them on your mailing list now, but you've lost the order that you were trying to get. Some websites even go as far as to eliminating the navigation bar on their key landing pages because they want people to focus just on the offer that they've presented. You'll notice that a lot during the checkout process on e-commerce websites. It's pretty typical at that point to not have any navigation or maybe just have a home button because, again, you're not trying to pull people away from completing their order and putting in their credit card. You want them to just finish the order and become your customer. Another thing landing pages, as I mentioned before, allow you to do is they allow you to test your offers. So there's many different ways of doing it, but the basic idea is that you run 2 different versions of the exact same ad that point to 2 different landing pages on your website. So for example, Anne might run the exact same advertisement for Anne's Cupcakes simultaneously, but 50% of these ads point to landing page 1, gluten-free special. The other 50% point to landing page 2, which might be gluten-free cupcakes. Now that you've got 2 different landing pages, you can compare whatever it is that you're actually trying to test. For example, you might want to test pricing. You might want to see if lowering or increasing the price of a cupcakes changes sales at all. Or you might want to try a completely different approach to each landing page, see which one converts better. Testing is one of the best values for your money if you do it properly, because it allows you to actually iteratively improve your landing page until you're getting much higher conversion rates. Because trust me, the first version of anything you create is not going to be the best one. You create version 1, you test it, you try out different things, and you go from maybe converting 5% of your visitors to, say, 10% of your visitors. And if you can do that, you've just doubled your sales. So landing pages are powerful, and there's also a lot of really good ways that you can be taking advantage of. So here are just some ideas for you. For example, let's say you're launching a new product. You should definitely be creating a new page on your website for that product. But let's say you also have a list of existing customers, and to those customers you want to give a special price on that product. You can create a separate landing page just for your customers, and you can email all of them a link to that page, and maybe that page has a 20% existing customer deal. You can use landing pages to also promote special events or a customer appreciation sale. So the same concept applies. You might create a page for that event that is not necessarily linked to anywhere from your website, but is sent to a very specific group of people, such as your existing customers for a customer appreciation sale. Or even you're just creating event flyers and you want to make sure that people can visit that event directly instead of going to your homepage and then trying to find the event. Landing pages are great for surveying your customers. Create a customer survey on your website. Let's say embed a MailChimp, or not MailChimp, a SurveyMonkey form or something similar into a new page on your website and send customers that link. And like we've shown in this video, you can of course target your offers very well for any sort of online or offline advertising that you do just by directing people to a landing page. So that's landing pages in a nutshell. If you haven't been using them, I hope this video changes your mind. And we are going to be producing lots more of these videos. So I again remind you, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And after you've done that, go create your first landing page and go rock your online marketing.